Hello. I'm about to share with you a very scary story. Story of pain, of suffering, of swimming, of cycling.
There's no scones!
You mean there's no scones? Say hello, Jane.
Hello, Jane! Hello!
Hi.
We're in the car.
We are in the car. Where are we going?
We're going to Allerthorpe, which is where I did the Quin. So we're going for a bit of a trip down memory lane. Scary, horrible memories.
I'm going to make her do another lap. Just one more, Jane. Just one more.
I can't believe you're going to make me do another lap. A Quin is a continuous 5-iron distance triathlon. So it's a 12-mile swim, a 567-mile bike and a 131-mile run, all within 6 days, so you've got 144 hours.
Road trip! Who organises it? What's...
So an amazing lady called Claire Smith organises it, Brutal Events. We should definitely talk to her sometime. She's currently in the middle of a double DECA.
How did you start triathlon then?
So I've been doing trial a long while, but I kind of started in a let's sort of get fit, lose a bit of weight after babies. I did my first triathlon when my youngest son would have been, I don't know, 1 or 2. And in 2011 I did my first Ironman. I think I was going to do a year of ultra running, and then Maria Greaves happened to me. She did her double Ironman and I was like, ooh, I could do that.
And you could?
And I could do that. I did one called the Double Brutal, which was
brutal, right?
was brutal. Anyway, so yes, done that. Had a little bit of post-race blues. Knew that there was a thing called the DECA happening. Now, if I had listened to Maria, I would have done 10 Ironmans.
Was it self-supported or how did it work?
No, I could not have done it on my own. So could not have done it on my own. I had a fabulous crew, amazing people. I had Siobhan, who's an amazing, lovely ultra runner and also GP. I had Helen, who is a retired doctor. For some reason I decided to have all doctors. I had the lovely Ruth, who is also a lovely triathlete and also a doctor. And then I had Jason, who wasn't a doctor. Jason, why were you not a doctor?
Become a doctor, Jason.
But he did quite a bit of running with me, which was very welcome. And I had Ian, my husband, who was also there with my kids. And they kind of fed me, watered me, helped me get dressed, helped me have a shower at one point, generally looked after me like I was a child.
So the swim
Swim was in a pool,
Yep.
25 metre pool, 760 lengths of a 25 metre pool.
and who counted those lengths?
Not me. And you started at 7 o'clock at night, so you also did it through the night.
How did you feel like after the swim? Did you have motion sickness or anything like that?
Not really, but I was quite wired and a bit spacey.
Okay. Is that because of the
I
chlorine?
think it was a kind of sensory deprivation.
The transition? I don't know. Numbing the pain. How would you actually train for something like that?
Well, you obviously have to do some long swims, but I didn't just focus on long swims. I did quite a lot of work on getting my speed a bit more efficient and my stroke a bit more efficient in the lovely Justine's pool, which is an endless pool. So it was excellent practice for boredom because you don't get anywhere. It's kind of like a swimming treadmill. You can set it to a speed and swim against the current, and you know you're swimming at 145 per 100 metres, 130, whatever you've set it at. So it's a good way of making yourself work hard.
So you've got out the swim.
Yeah.
What happens next?
It was still dark, so set off in the dark on the bike. So my transition was 2.5 hours.
Was that a PB for longest transition?
For me, yeah.
So you set off on the bike in the dark.
Set off on the bike about 5 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
5, 6, an 8 mile loop, 8.1 mile loop. Yeah. And we did it 70 times.
70 loops.
70 loops. 140 times over Alp de Humpback Bridge.
Where are we now?
So we are by, hang on, I need to show you, Alp de Humpback Bridge. Alp de Humpback Bridge. So every lap you had to go over this beast twice. It doesn't look very big, does it? I'm going over it now going, this isn't really very much of a hill. But it was a huge hill and it made your quads burn.
So twice in a loop. How many loops?
70 loops. So
70
140 times over that.
Oh my god. Bike is quite exposed. We've just ridden it together. Was it windy?
It was very windy. The first day it was so windy, in fact, that some of the gazebos people put up for their crew blew into the lake. My gazebo was defunct within a day because it just wasn't strong enough to cope with the wind.
Wow.
I was strong enough to cope with the wind. I described it as riding your bike in a Dyson hand dryer, really. It was boiling hot and very windy. Ideal. 195 miles each of the first 2 days, and then whatever I had left to do, 180 the last day. And then
So
it was
3
just
days it
amazing
took.
to get off the bike.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. So what was the lowest moment on the bike? Because I know I have had a lot of low moments on the bike.
You have had a lot of low moments on the
So,
bike.
but I can't imagine that probably anywhere as low as yours.
Oh, I don't know. I seem to remember you looking quite blue at points. Weirdly, got really, really hard in the last bit. So when you got to the point where I got a half Ironman to do, it was like, woohoo! I've only got a half Ironman to do. I was practically done. And then it was like gradually creeping realisation that you don't go at half Ironman pace at the end of 5 Ironmans of biking, and it isn't going to be done in 3 hours like you think in your head. So yeah, and then by the time I had 2 laps to go, I wanted to sob.
Training for something like that.
Yeah.
560 miles.
Dialing into a pace. So I decided in my head I was going to do 13 miles an hour. That was what I was going to aim for. So I basically did most of my rides at that pace to just kind of dial into that feeling normal, so I didn't go off too fast and wreck my legs. And in actual fact, I did 14 miles an hour.
The longest ride was the one that we did.
We did,
Norfolk,
yeah. So,
right?
it was 320 miles.
Where are we now?
So this is kind of where the start line was. There's a big marquee here. Can you see it? No. Well, it is. And then roughly here was the start line.
You've got sore shoulders, sore feet, sore bum, sore wrists, sore arms.
Yeah.
And now you have to run 130 miles.
Yeah.
Excellent.
131. Don't drop the 1, please.
Sorry, 131 miles. I apologise. And on a what size loop course?
Just over a mile. 119 laps.
119 laps.
19 laps. Yeah. This is the Alps. This is an enormous hill. Yes, it is. Shut up. So we're going to stagger up here, and at the top of the hill was where my lovely crew had my table of goodness, food, drink. They'd go, "How are your boobs?" and fill my boobs up with water. It's called Crab Hill. Because when your legs really hurt, you can't just run down there. This is how you go down Crab Hill. So I got up and started running about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was already boiling. It was already really hot. And so I say running, I barely shuffled. My legs were already killing me. I felt like I'd run a marathon downhill. My quads were they were just horrible. This is a hill.
So you went up here 119 times?
Yeah.
This must be very familiar to you.
Yeah, but it's all a bit blurred. Because, it just all kind of goes a bit hazy. And
Yeah.
a lot of it was in the dark. I started running on the Thursday night, but I only did about 3 miles. Then I ran on the Wednesday night, sorry. Then I ran all day Thursday, all day Friday, and finished about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Evil steps. But I didn't fall over on them. Ian fell over on them. Jason fell over on them. I didn't fall over on them. Watch me step.
Now that we're back in the warm, let's talk about training on the run. For the run, we've covered swim, we've covered bike. Yeah. How do you train?
Again, for running? I did lots of long, slow runs. I did 3 marathons in 3 days on the Jurassic Coast, and then I did an excellent weekend session with you, where we biked to Kettering. Stayed in a hotel. Got up early, biked to Runstop, an ultra type course where you did as many laps as you could in 8 hours. So I went to sort of 50k very steadily, lots of it with the children, had quite a nice family day, but basically spent all day on my feet.
Your feet?
Yes.
Let's talk about your feet. So there's a very famous picture that's actually been in a Triathlon 220 magazine.
It has actually,
yes,
it has.
Without saying that it was actually your feet, but that's another story.
Gloss over that. Taken by the fabulous Kathy Harmon, an amazing endurance photographer.
What had happened to them?
Oh, basically they just got shredded. They were a mess. They were a bit puffy. They had quite a lot of blisters and they had quite a lot of plasters on. They were just generally a bit sore, a bit tired. They'd done 130 miles.
Did you lose any toenails?
Not immediately, but I never lose them straight away. I lose them over time. So far I've lost a couple.
Have you not got any left now?
I've lost a couple. I've got a couple still to go.
You've only got 4 toes.
Yeah, I've only got 4 toes. I lost the toes.
Lost the toes. Then more the toenails, actually the toes. I've got them in a jar.
The saddle sore from the bike started to really make itself known about day 2 of the run. So it was like, I had a hedgehog lived in my pants. I net Vaseline. So every couple of laps I have to stop, feed the hedgehog.
Feed the hedgehog. So it's going to be
the hedgehog ate an entire pot of Vaseline.
You know that they have a lot of fleas.
Oh, that's why I've been itching. So it took about 141 hours.
And the cut-off was?
144 hours.
You crossed the finish line at the end of the run?
Yeah. But first, on the last lap of the run, you run the way around.
Why?
So then you can say bye-bye to all your friends.
And how did it feel crossing the finish line?
Just amazing. Oh, yeah. All my family were there, all the crew were there, the lovely Susie, who beaten me with a broken leg, was there with Prosecco.
Was it worth it?
Yes. It was a big pause. It was worth it. But it was definitely worth it, and I would definitely do it again. Tip 1, in case you have an amazing crew, ideally people that know you well, or failing that have a list of things that they need to know about you, how you work, what you're planning to do, and when you want to deviate from the plan, so that when you're really tired and you aren't thinking clearly, you can ignore everything they tell you. Tip 2, training, do some, ideally, but you don't need to do the distances. You need to get lots of distances into your legs. I did lots of long, slow things to kind of dial into a pace, so that when I came out onto the bike, I didn't go off like a rocket. I was very used to riding at a steady pace that I could maintain for 3 days. Tip 3, practice what you're going to eat. And this applies to any race really, where you've got to eat, know what works for you, know what doesn't work for you. So for me, I can't eat gluten, I can't eat eggs. I've learnt that the hard way. But the best way to learn it is in training and not in races. Tip 4, practice sleep deprivation, so you know how your body works. You know you're used to riding at night, you're used to running at night, you're used to pushing through when you're tired, but you also know when you're sleepy and when's a good time to sleep and rest in a race. Tip 5, and this I would say is probably the most important tip of all, have gin at the finish line. go around the corner.
What was it again?
Double Ironman.
Get off the road! I'm just kidding. Those guys are filming us.
What? Filming us film ourselves?
Yeah.
This is all very meta.
Okay.